Disclaimer: everything that is discussed, posted is strictly for educational and historical purposes only. It does not promote nor condone illegal activities. German O GR CH CROATA. Croata was born of a litter of 8 puppies of our breeding, thought by my partner at that time AC off our pure Croatian blood stud dog called Vili 2. His father was the famous CH Vili 2 4XW, and his mother the killer Rika 1XW and 1XL dead game against the famous European killer Rika 2XW. Vili 3 was a very game dog without much mouth to compete. Vili 3 was bred to Tonka 1XGL, daughter of Clyde, double son of GRCH Mayday, with Mr. Ramos bred dog, basically old Carver stuff. All 8 puppies were black, but Croata was the pick of the litter that I named him after his bloodline origins. Dominated all his siblings, he was wide open from an early age. At the age of 11 months, I rolled him for the first time against a direct son of Grand Champ Macho Buck that was very intense and 5 pounds heavier than Crow, but Croata dominated him with head holds shaking every time, so showing to be a very smart, intelligent dog, an artist. His second roll was against a Jeep, Red Boy, Rascal / Frisco bred dog with a touch of Ice Day blood on the bottom side. This time was around 12 minutes where Crow dominated and controlled by the head until the 9-minute mark where he went to punish the rear end. From this point on, Crow had absolutely control. The owner of the dog picked him up a few minutes later. His third roll turned out to be his Crow's game test against an excellent son of Southern Kennels Bam Bam Pur with a daughter of Southern Kennels Clyde, pure Mayday bred dog. This dog called Didi was known for dominating his opponents by the neck. He did this against Croata, which he ran hot the first 15 minutes, and after making a turn, Crow started to find his fight by the head and rear end when he could until the 49-minute mark. Crow was making his move and stopped Didi at the 52-minute mark. Croata ran his scratch like a train. Number 1 August. Croata's first match was hooked against a 1XW hard mouth boils / Fargo bred dog called Blackie. For this match, I tried to put Croata against all odds. His keep consisted of only 4 weeks of walking. The weight of Croata is 39 pounds, so for this he was at 38, 1 pound under his pit weight. I took Crow and traveled to Quito the same day of the match. We must remember that Croata trained in a different weather conditions. Anyway, Crow and Blackie weighted 38 pounds. Blackie was so huge compared to the slimmer Croata. During the match, Croata controlled Blackie with ear and head holds for the entire pit, with Blackie entering the rear end occasionally, but Croata keeping him out. Then approximately at 43-minute mark, Croata was doing damage to the throat and rear end of Blackie. At 51, Blackie begins to protest and Croata is putting him away. Blackie's owner picked his dog up. Blackie stood in his courtesy scratch. Crow was uncontrollable in his corner ready to show his courtesy scratch, but the judge or the other side let us release my dog. Crow has enough air and stamina to go for 1 more hour. Number 2 October. His second match was hooked after 2 months in 39 pounds against a dog that was gaining fame due that he was a killer machine named Colorado's Red Fargo, son of Colorado's Knowles Kurdock 1XW, 1XGL with Lady Rommel blood on his bottom side. Crow looked so small compared to Red Fargo, but both dogs were on weight. On the match day, I noticed that Croata's gums were really pale and he was sluggish, but I decided to do it anyway. Croata runs hot the first 10 minutes grasping for air, while Red Fargo was doing a lot of damage on Croata's face. He bites so hard that he opened a big gauge on Croata's left eye. I thought at that time that Crow just lost an eye. He was bleeding profusely. Croata made a turn in order to cool off and try to get his second wind. I would like to be explicit on this issue. Croata is so smart adapting to any circumstances, and he does whatever it takes to overcome anything in front of him to prevail during a fight. He is a winner. At the 30-minute mark, Croata is biting hard on the rear end with Red Fargo protesting. At 37, both dogs are handled and taken to their corners. Croata made an impressive scratch demonstrating that he would stay as long as he needs. Red Fargo stood in his line. Croata ran his courtesy scratch like a train, knocking both dog and handler in the corner. Number 3 February. For his championship after 3 months, I hooked him against Ranger Kennel Sutnami, a grandson of the famous hardmouth Lionheart 2XW1XLG with a double Mayday bred female on the bottom side. Both dogs on 39 pounds. Sutnami, a very intense dog, met Croata in the center of the pit, taking mouth holds for the first 5 minutes. The Sutnami to the rear end, but Croata kept him out using his body and the pit walls artistically. Then Crow went for shoulder holds, showing a devastating mouth. No turns or out of holds. Sutnami is picked up at the 34-minute mark and ran across, showing what a game dog is all about. Croata made a fast courtesy scratch, earning his championship-winning Best in Show trophy that night. He became a champion in 6 months. Number 4 August. For his fourth, I hooked him against Krigel Tuntin, son of South America CH Luigi, brother of the famous GR CH Lacane. Tuntin's siblings are Ladrillon 1XW, Chato 2XW, and many others. For this one, we drove 28 hours before entering the pit. CH Croata demonstrated his ability, natural air, and gameness to prevail against a hard-faced dog like Tuntin. At the 1 hour and 28-minute mark, Tuntin is picked up and scratched literally on his shoulders, earning the gamest in show. CH Croata 4XW completed a fast courtesy scratch, as usual, showing everybody what a complete dog he is, an artist. After this impressive win, he was hooked again for his fifth. Some fellow dogmen offered us an import 1XW from the US to compete into CH Croata, but just now we received the very bad news that they decided to pay the forfeit, and the show was cancelled. Crow is hooked again for his Grand Championship show, going up 1 kilogram, 2.2 pounds, against a hard specialist face dog 2XW BIS early 2010. Number 5 February. For his GRCH match, I tried to find the best dog that was in the game. My good friend G&G had Kandiru, who we tested hard and demonstrated to be an unbeatable dog. I always thought that Kandiru could have beaten Croata. G&G hooked Kandiru against Imperio's Kennel's Iron Black 1XW, a dog known for being a hard-biting face dog. G&G and I were very confident that Kandiru was going to beat Iron Black, but this was not the case. Iron Black controlled a game Kandiru for over an hour and beat him in our own backyard, earning the best in show that night. Kandiru demonstrated to be a dead game dog that day. After this, I knew Iron Black 2XW was the dog to beat and the best around. It was so complicated to hook Crow against Iron Black. Some of my close friends thought that I was crazy giving up the weight advantage, especially against this hard-biting face dog. But finally, this were the terms of the contract. We would do it in our country, but I had to go up on weight, 2.2 pounds, in order to make it happen. Anyway, on the day of the show, Croata did not look the way I wanted him to look, but the match was on. These two warriors meet each other in a very tight weight pulling contest, trying to win each other. This time Iron Black was against another good weight puller as Croata. Anyway, Iron Black had the upper hand, and at the 55-minute mark, Croata was losing the show. My good friend and old-timer from SK told me that Croata was going into shock and I should consider picking him up, but deep down inside I knew Croata will find his way to the top no matter what. Every time he could, he would stand up and shake violently and start to get into the rear and front end of Iron Black most often, and around the 90-minute mark he turned the show around. He showed everybody what he was made of, pure heart and determination. He weight pulled to win at the 1 hour and 48 minutes and thus making him the Ecuadorian legend GR CH Croata 5XW 1XBIS. He is now retired and only been used as stud, and we will provide him the best life he deserves. GRCH Croata now is our pet. He will live with our family and he is very friendly with people and kids. I have to give thanks for this life, because we feel very lucky as we had the chance to have this once-in-a-lifetime dog. Grand Champion Croata. The EC legend. A pit artist RIP as of December 7, 2015, due to kidney failure. Big loss for the game world. Crow has reached 6 points in the ROM list, producing 1 GRCH and 4 CHs. POR producer of record 41 points. He has produced so far GRCH Osiris 5XW 2 times BIS International, DOY 2015, CH Gold Day 4XW BDS 1XL, Rolex 1XW BDS, Basilia 1XW RIP, EME 2XW, Croata 2 1XW 1XGL, Clio 1XW, RIP, Gouda 1XW 1XGL, CH Africano 4XW, International CH. Red Crow 3XW 2XBIS, CH Dylan 3XW, Corita 1XW 1XGL GIS, Vili 4 1XW, Mindara 1XW, Marlow 1XW in 2 hours and 39 minutes, Xavier aka X2XW, Sniper 1XW, Black Hunter 2XW, and Erica POR, who in turn produced CH Moncro and CH Black Demon in just 2 breedings, Apollo 1XDGL, Miss Croatia 1XGL, Cromwell 1XGL. The Ecuadorian legend, an artist and a finisher, extraordinary in every aspect. Well, there you have it, folks, the story of German O Grand Champion Croata 5XW BIS ROM.